Okay, start again. I'm working on a new model for the model visualizing the eight brain functions to explain personality types. I really like Dave's system. He's got the 4 circles with the double deciders in the middle, or sorry, double functions in the middle, and your main function big and crossed in between. He's got the introverted functions on the left, extroverted on the right. Easy to understand, easy to visualize. I was listening to his video the other day, and I started to see some pictures in my mind, and I was doodling them, and I started to kind of enjoy them personally. And I just like it helps me understand, when I kind of put it in my own way, when I kind of put things in my own explain them in my own way or visualize them in my own way. And so I saw, as I was learning and kind of agreeing with that functions are not, we are not our main function. Like the Myers-Briggs guys will say, if you're an ENP, for example, this guy's doing NE all the time, he must be ENP. Yesterday I saw him, he did this NE strong thing, and so he must be an ENP. Wow. But actually that's not the case. Actually, a lot of people will do NE stuff and then, or have NE behaviors, and a lot of the different types will have them, but it's not what is the things you do mostly all the time, or the things you're good at, or the things, even the functions that you like, which is Myers-Briggs thing. Which function do you like the most? Do you enjoy the most? That's completely ridiculous, unquantifiable. But I started to learn that it's not what you like the most or do the most, it's what you skip over. It's the thing you shrink from. It's the thing that you hate. It's that SI that you try to get around and try to cover it up. And I started to see it in my mind as like a ring. And I started to see this ring could be like under the water. And under the water is like your introverted functions, and over the water is your extroverted functions. Then I started to see, right brain, left brain people, which is, a sham, apparently. But, I was putting like the right brain stuff on the right, and the left brain stuff on the left. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. And then I was shining a light on it, and I was saying, well, not a light, but more like if you had a black spotlight, and or even if you had let's say just a spotlight, and you're shining this big light on NE, and then these functions were kind of in the shade or something. I was kind of playing with that, and so I was seeing or if you had like a black spotlight, one is shining here, and there's black, and it's like kind of eating away at these other functions. And then I started to see it like that, is that your function is the thing where your black spot is, the shadow or the demon function. That's actually what makes our personality. This trying to jump over this sensitive spot somehow. And then to put it all together, you needed your observers and your deciders. So then I need 2 circles, right? Like this. But then, how could I put it into one? So the idea that I came up with was to just put a circle inside of another circle. It's not a great idea. There's problems with it. Conceptually, you want to think like the inner circle is like introverted, the outer circle is extroverted, right? Which is a good idea, but then the whole spotlight concept crashes. But if you want to have, one is your black spot, so you've got the ENP, and S over here. I put F with N because I thought sensor and thinking is kind of similar. The facts and the logic and the feeling and the intuition is kind of similar. But now I'm seeing a lot of, anyway, this is another getting off track. But another thing I started to notice was that how similar thinking is to intuition as well. So many similarities there, actually. But anyway, so that got this picture going. And then what actually is making up our personality is these black spots, these like a sensitive tooth kind of. And if you're an ENP, it's SI, and you want to jump over it. You don't like it. It's a sensitive spot for you. It's something you're not good at, something you feel uncomfortable with, or something you're good at, but you're always checking it by your father or your savior, as Dave puts it. And you're always saying, is it okay to do the essay now? Is it okay? Can we refine the experience? Can we leave it here? And you may be really good at, keeping, focusing on the minimal and the experience, but you are kind of checking with NE, is it okay to leave it there? And NE is going to want to find some new concept to expand on it, and that is what makes the NEP. That jumping over the SI is what makes them. And if you refine that even more, what makes you an NINTP, for example, is your wanting to jump over the FE decider and cross-check it with TI. Is this right or wrong according to my subjective convictions? And you're asking if the objective wants and likes are okay according to your personal convictions, and that jump is what makes you a TP as opposed to an FP. And so doing these functions together, jumping over these two things, is what's making you an ENTP. And so I came up with this model, and I've been kind of working on my own kind of models using this base idea. Oops. And kind of turned into this kind of thing. Anyway, let me know what you think.